The earliest Paleo-Indian populations migrated into the Americas from Asia during the last glacial maximum, entering North America through the Bering Strait and gradually reaching South America by 16,000 BC. They were originally Siberian hunter-gatherers, genetically related to today's Yeniseian, Samoyedic, Sino-Tibetan, and Indo-Aryan peoples. However, over the next few millennia, some Austroasiatic and Austronesian navigators also crossed the Pacific Ocean, landed on Easter Island, and eventually reached the coast of South America. Some of the oldest archaeological sites in South America are located in the Atacama Desert of northern Chile and around Mount Osorno in central Chile. During the Archaic period, Andean tribes learned to till the soil. The Caral civilization of coastal Peru was the oldest advanced culture in the Americas, dating back to about 4000 BC. Viracocha is the mythical founder of the Tiwanaku tribe, who vanquished all his enemies and civilized the people living around Lake Titicaca. Esoteric Buddhist manuscripts tell of Abirati, a faraway continent across the Pacific Ocean associated with an Eastern Buddha named Akshobhya. His blue complexion symbolizes endurance and the power of the ocean. The Sanskrit name Vireshvara or Viresha is an epithet of the god Shiva, who also exhibits blue complexion and is associated with the eastern direction. Located between Bolivia and Peru, Titicaca is the largest lake in South America. The Uru tribe, living on the lake, still use bundles of dried sedges and reeds to make small boats and floating islands. Several ancient monuments, such as the Gateway of the Sun, are located around the lake. Farming in the Andes had to be done in terraces and oases, with aqueducts and canals. Fields had to be tilled by means of a foot plow. Most large mammals, such as prehistoric elephants and horses, had gone extinct in South America by the 7th millennium BC, so the local population had no tameable cattle to pull carts, chariots, or plows. The only large animal that could be domesticated in the New World was the llama, which is not physically suited to use as a draft animal. Wheels were used almost exclusively as millstones. Against all odds, Andean people cultivated an estimated 70 different plants in antiquity, the most important being potatoes, tomatoes, pineapples, quinoa, choclo, peanuts, lima beans, coca, cocoa, and maca. Quechua and Aymara were the most widespread languages in the Andean region before Spanish became the official language. The Mapuche nation of Chile is credited with inventing a hockey-like game named Paline and a board game called Comican. In about 1200, Tiwanaku tribal chief Manco Cápac founded the city of Cusco and established a federation of tribes in southern Peru and western Bolivia. Manco Cápac's ninth successor, Pachacuti, founded an empire that soon annexed Ecuador and expanded further north and south. The empire came to be called Tawantinsuyu, meaning the Four Regions. A huge road system stemmed from Cusco into four directions. The emperor was referred to as Sapa Inca, that is, the absolute ruler. Just as the empire began its decline in 1526, it was visited by Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro and his brothers. The last Sapa Inca, namely Atahualpa, was executed by Pizarro's army in 1533, marking the end of the Incan Empire. Ancient Andean artifacts bear striking similarities with their Asian counterparts, as apparently metals, jade, and pottery were worked in much the same way on both sides of the Pacific Ocean. For example, this is ancient Andean pottery, and this is ancient Chinese bronzeware. This is an ancient Andean beaker decorated with toads, and this is its Chinese equivalent. In both China and South America, toads were associated with the spiritual realm due to the hallucinogen contained in their skin. Andean people traditionally drink a sort of beer named chicha, comparable to Himalayan Chang. They also concoct an entheogen called ayahuasca, reminiscent of the amrita used in ancient India and China. Spondylus shells, as well as small axe blades, functioned as currency between Andean tribes, very much like ancient China's cowrie shells and quadrangular coins. Though writing was not a common means of communication in Andean society, these ancient inscriptions seem to share common traits with the Indian Brahmi script and the Chinese oracle script. Andean civilizations mainly recorded information by means of a set of knotted strings called qipu, much like ancient China's jiaesheng system. This similarity extends to hand-woven fabrics. These are traditional Peruvian clothes, and these are Himalayan textiles. Festivals and imagery, too, are often akin. This is an Andean festival called Diablada, and this is the Tibetan Cham ceremony. This is the Andean demon Supai, reminiscent of most tantric demonic beings. Andean rituals involve the use of ceremonial flame knives almost identical to their Tibetan counterparts. The Andean wheel of life is reminiscent of the Himalayan wheel of rebirth, and this eternal wheel from Peru looks a lot like the Dharma wheel from India. This representation of a vulture pecking at a human head is relatable to the Himalayan practice of sky burial. When an Inca emperor died, his mummy was dressed in a jade burial suit like this, much like the jade shrouds enveloping the mummies of Chinese emperors. The Andean concept of complementary opposites, called yanantin and masantin, roughly corresponds to the Chinese yin and yang. The Andean symbol called chakana incorporates characteristics of the Chinese bakwa and the Himalayan Vishvavajra. Much like most Taoic and Dharmic religions, the Andean belief system reveres the sun, the moon, and the lightning god, and it contemplates the 5 natural elements of earth, water, fire, wind, and space, as well as 3 realms of existence, namely the heavenly realm, the human realm, and the subhuman realm. This is a traditional Peruvian rope bridge, whereas this is a suspension bridge in Bhutan. Andean civilizations have bequeathed to us a remarkable legacy consisting of mountain fortresses, astronomical observatories, pyramids, and geoglyphs.